Would you like to sign the condolence book, please, and donation to the family, and straight through?
Yes, thank
You don't have
you.
to give, by the way. Well, sorry.
Before we get the proceedings underway, we're going to greet Roy's family, Roy's sister, Helen, his mother, his wife, his child. They've requested that as they come in, I think it's important that we kind of stand and welcome them in. But I also think it's what they've requested is that we observe 1 minute silence for Roy. And based on the occasion this is, it's really important that we observe this. So when Roy's family come in, because of the difficult moment it is for them and quite a few of us, let's really give them a proper welcome as they make their way onto this table. All right? So listen, please give your love and support to Roy's family, please. No, come on, let's hear it properly, come on. Yeah, can we please just observe a minute's silence for Roy and his family at this moment in time, please. Thank you. Please be seated. Yeah, welcome everybody. I'd like to say a special welcome to Roy's family. Tonight, on one level I suppose you could see this as an occasion that's quite sad in some respects, and it is. Because, you know, it'd be great that Roy is here. But as we know, Roy passed over. And tonight, when we kind of came together, and when I say we came together, many, many people, I mean, there's too many numerous people to talk about how this event came about. But I think what's important as we get through the course of the night, one of the things we're going to kind of recognize is how loved, respected Roy was. We're going to learn a lot about Roy, but more importantly, this is an opportunity for the kind of community to come together and celebrate a joyous occasion. And so the program is very, very compact. There's lots of stuff on. What I would say to all of the speakers coming up and performers is be respectful of time. But more importantly, this is an opportunity for us to reflect. Because when I was asked to host tonight's event, I had to reflect on my relationship with Roy, just as a kind of opening. In August of 1986, I met Roy. Roy came to Stockton, I was in Nottingham, as part of a program called Caribbean Focus. And Roy came to my house. He had a drum, a couple bits of clothes, no money. But you know something, 22 years later, I saw him just before Christmas. We kind of journeyed in a range of different ways. So for me, one of the reasons I'm kind of grateful for having a chance to host it, because it means that for all of us here who've journeyed with him, this is like a big extended family. So I don't want you to feel sad tonight. I want you to reflect, enjoy it, celebrate it, clap, applause. But let's kind of be united and come together. So let me first say, are people in the house? Yeah. No, you're not. So yes, see, that's good. I also want to say a big thanks to all of the speakers who are coming up, all the people that's given their time. I also think it's very important to say a big thanks to the Jump for putting this on. Thanks to all the drummers, there's a lot of people that have put this together. And I think before, because we normally do this at the end, but some people may come and go. So I want everybody to just give a really loud noise to everybody that's helped put this together, please. So we're going to kind of get underway, really. Roy, for those that didn't know, was very, very much into his spirituality. I was fortunate that when my son was born, Roy officiated in his naming ceremony. So I encountered Roy at that time with my son, who officiated in a traditional African naming ceremony. And it was only fitting that before we start the program, we have a very important moment where a libation is going to be poured by one of our elders, Brother Berenga, who's going to come and pour libation to start the occasion off. So Berenga, please, big hand for Berenga, please.
We're going to ask everyone to stand. We pour libation as part of the recognition and acknowledgement of our Creator God, and as a way of thanking those who have gone before us in paving a pathway that has made life easier for us. That even when we think life is hard, it could have been harder. Because it is that we are celebrating the life of someone who has contributed, the libation will be slightly different. Because when we lose one of ours, it means that it reminds us that we must actually call for those inspirations that has enabled us to not only give the world civilization, but that we have actually paved the path that people today can talk about their multi-religions as if it is something that was discovered recently. But it is out of our spirituality that gave birth to all the world religions. We therefore call upon the Divine Mother, Father, Force, the Creator, to join us, to give us some guidance, and give us a pathway for the future. After each name that is called, I would like a response. The response is Ashe. And by now I hope everyone understands that. And then towards the end of the libation, we will ask individuals to call on any personal ancestors that they would like to come and join us in helping to give us guidance. We call upon Imhotep. We call upon those ancestors that created those civilizations of the Nile Valley to give us a direction for the future. We call upon Marcus Messiah Garvey, Queen Nzinga, Ya Asantewa, Harriet Tubman, I hope that we will recognize that in calling on ancestors, we call on those who we think has contributed positively. But that does not mean that other ancestors will not come to the door who we don't want to hear. So therefore, we must recognize that when we call upon ancestors, we're also opening up a pathway for everyone asunder to come and join us. We call upon Malcolm X,
Ashe.
Paul Google,
Ashe.
Nani of the Ashanti,
Ashe.
Queen Mother Moore.
Ashe.
We call upon Roy Kwabena.
Ashe.
We call upon those ancestors from the north and from the south, from the east and from the west. May they provide a ring of steel around us that will protect and guide us for a better future. If there's anyone who has any immediate ancestors that they'd like to call on, then you are able to do so. But this time we're going to use white spirit. And if you want to know why, is that water takes a long time to evaporate, whilst the spirits evaporate more quickly. So it means that those ancestors will actually more quickly hear our call. Call upon Cynthia Henry, my mother. Altamont Forbes. Ashe. Remind us that we're here to celebrate. Because when one passes over, especially one who has lived a life that has given us an example of what we should be doing, it means that it gives us the strength and the understanding to know that he has gone to join ancestors and will be working towards the benefits of our sense of people. So let us give a big cheer for Roy Kwabena.
Yeah, please proceed. Lights. Before we get underway, just to give a bit about the format for this evening, just so that you're clear about the way it is. When a group of us got together and thought, how can we kind of celebrate Roy's life, we realized that Roy was multifaceted. So rather than kind of do it chronologically, where we start from Roy's birth to now, what we've done is taken each facet of what Roy represented, and there'll be a short introduction by myself to that section, and then there will be speakers and performers responding to that. And so we're going to basically journey through the life and times of Roy Kwabena. Interestingly enough, this opening piece that you're gonna see, 21 drum salute, because we know there's a 21 gun salute, and I don't know, can anybody count? Have we got 21 people on there? Are we? So, Roy loved his drum. I mean, when I lived in Nottingham 22 years ago, he came in, everywhere he went, he took the drum. And we felt that it's appropriate that we start with a 21 drum salute. So, let's have the 21 drum salute. Come on, let's hear it, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you lot. Stop doing that, man. Give it some.
What are we going on the time? I've got to watch it. What should we be on?
To Roy by Sandra Golding. So can you please put your hands together for Sandra Golding, please? Please give it up for Sandra and the 21 drum salute, please. Thank you. Let's hear it. Everybody all right? Now we've kind of started. Sorry, can somebody just move one of the mics to the centre because we're going to start to get speakers and performers. Can you kind of, in the interest of making this fun, can you just applaud, give people some applause as they come off stage, the 21 drum salute, please. Thank you. They'll be back. Keep it going, stop loafing. Oh, your hands got dry. Yeah, don't stop, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can stop now.
Long time.
Enough people here. As I said, the format for the evening is we're going to take a section of Roy's life, and they're going to be people come up and illustrate that with either performance, speeches. My job is really to introduce each section. This first bit is about Roy as a traveller. Normally when we think about travelling, we tend to see it as a physical travelling. Roy travelled intellectually, Roy travelled culturally, Roy travelled politically, Roy was just a traveller. Frequently, how many people in here have been somewhere in the country and suddenly Roy crops up? Am I right? I've been places, you know, whether it's London, somewhere, Roy will always be there. And interestingly enough, Roy's still here today. So what I'm suggesting is, when we look at travelling and we look at journeying, let's not just see it as a physical journey. Roy journeyed and travelled in every facet of his life. And that's why all of you are here today, because at some stage you have joined Roy on his journey. I mean, the person that kicked it all off, she's down here with us, Roy's mum, and I think we need to give her some kind of applause. Hey, come on, let's hear it properly. This is Roy's mum. Thank you. And I'm sure we talked backstage, and I'm sure she's also travelled with Roy too. So what we're going to do now is invite some of the speakers just to present some of their thoughts about Roy as a traveller. Where's Ava? Oh, sorry, I didn't see her. Sorry, please big up for Ava, please.
Can you just, thank you. Right behind you, Martin. Hi, sis. Was, with a big smile, was how Roy always greeted me before telling me about his latest projects, venture or adventure, and how he wanted me to be involved as a writer or as a broadcaster. Last summer, I was walking into the foyer at Central Library and I heard a lot of noise and commotion. In the middle of all of this fuss, Roy was lifted totally off the ground, one security guard on each leg and each arm. And he was protesting, "I ain't leaving, you all can't throw me out." Sorry, I can't do a Trinidad accent, sorry, that's the best I can do. So there's me rushing to help. "Oh, Roy, what's happened now?" And then I realised that everybody, apart from me, everybody including the guards were laughing. And basically this was how they were welcoming Roy back to Central Library, which they saw as his home because of all the work he'd done there, because they hadn't seen him for such a long time. When they eventually put him down, he spent 5 minutes reassuring me that they were really joking. And then our conversation carried on where it had left off a few months earlier when I'd seen him, seamlessly, just like always. Tonight, I'm going to be reading writing from two great men of literature who go back at least 30 years with Roy, and they've requested that their tributes be heard in memoriam to their friends, seeing as they are in America and Denmark, and they couldn't be here tonight. The first piece Roy Kwabena in Memoriam, is written by Fred Degar, an award-winning prolific writer of novels, poems and plays, just like Roy. And also, just like Roy last year, Fred was included on the wall of history's greatest black achievers in Liverpool International Slavery Museum. Can you bring the music up a little for me, please, Aaron?
He's so humble. Never touch a lion. Roaring. I'm walking.
Okay, can you put it down a bit? Thank you. This piece is called Roy Kwabena in Memoriam. The lion is gone. When I say the lion is gone, you say the lion is still here with us. I say the lion is gone. He crossed the sea to be with us.